So recently, I was talking to this friend of mine who did his BTech from an IIT. He got an offer from FANG straight out of college. He had a really high CTC of 40 plus LPA when he joined this company. He lived the dream life that every software engineer can live. He had a perfect life in Bangalore. He loved the job, the perks that were provided by his company that enabled him to follow his hobbies, his passion. Everything looked perfect from the outside. So, if you would have seen this person's Instagram, you would have thought that this person has no problems in his life. He is actually living the perfect life that everyone dreams about. But after 4.5 years, this person quit the job without any offers, and he's not even looking out for any new offers. And everyone was really shocked to hear this, like including me. Why would someone leave their such a happy, comfortable job? They are not even looking out for a new job anymore. So he told me that he is feeling like a well paid robot and he feels burnt out like anything. He has lost interest in all the things that he used to love before. He doesn't enjoy his hobbies, he doesn't enjoy his job, he doesn't look forward to going to office and meeting his team. He was just losing interest in everything. I and when you think about it, like this sounds like a valid problem, but this is just one side of the story where you are leaving the company. So the another side of the story is when the company decides to leave you first, you never even saw it coming, right? So today in this video, we are going to discuss both sides of the story where there's a burnout that nobody talks about. There is the layoff that has been happening ever since the AI era has started. Between these two situations, there comes the most fundamental question that everyone is thinking in their mind, but not many people are discussing about it. So, is software engineering job still relevant in 2026? Why would anyone want to become a software engineer in 2026 when AI is doing most of their jobs? When FANG companies are looking as lucrative as it used to before? I will give you a sneak peek as to what this FANG dream looks like from the inside. So, I know this sounds like a very uncomfortable video, but this is actually very useful if you don't know like the reality of the FANG company and you know how actually software engineering jobs are today in 2026. So stay tuned till the very end and I promise you, you will not at all regret watching this video. So first let's start with numbers because numbers don't lie, right? So in 2025, layoffs.fyi recorded nearly 2,200,000 jobs being cut worldwide, and that's more than 2023 and 2022's job cut combined. But here's the shift. Earlier, companies used to cite like they overhired during the COVID era, and that is the reason why they are now, restructuring. But now in 2025 and 26, companies are openly saying that because of AI, they no longer need so many headcounts. So Amazon has been restructuring their teams in AWS because of AI assisted development, and Meta has almost replaced their mid-level developers by creating AI agents. And Shopify's CEO has publicly stated that every team manager has to justify the headcount because an AI can't do their job, right? So they have to justify what is it that the human resource is doing that AI is not able to do. Freshers are actually struggling a lot to even get an interview, and even if they reach till the interview phase, their offers are getting rescinded. Companies that used to earlier hire 200 students right out of college are now hiring just 20 people. Job market of 2026 has fundamentally changed, and it is not what your seniors told you. And if you are preparing like it's still 2021, do DSA, crack FANG, and chill for life, then you and I need to have a very serious talk. Okay, so this is the section that I really wanted to make because FANG myth is still alive and it is still killing people's actual careers. Addressing myth number one, that FANG means job security. I mean, Google laid off 12,000 people in 2023 and in 2024 cut entire product divisions, and in 2025 there was another round of efficiency layoffs, and in 2026 Google has completely shut down few internal teams due to Gemini driven automation of developer tasks. So similar thing has happened in Microsoft as well, where the entire Xbox division was cut off, and that's like a $3 trillion market cap. And Azure teams were restructured, and even Bing's developer teams were restructured after the AI Copilot took over. So the truth is that no job is safe, and to be honest, the concept of job security is a myth in private job. That is something that we all have known, but especially nowadays in the tech industry, that concept has ceased to exist anymore. And what protects you is you being able to bounce back from these kind of situations and keep yourself on your toes by your preparation and ensuring that you are always interview ready. Myth number two, free food, chill life, good work life balance. I mean, let me tell you what happens inside these campuses. Sure, you are right. You will get free food and you will get all sorts of perks that a FANG company offers. But there's also another side of the story. There's a concept called as performance improvement plan, or there is a concept called as stack ranking, where you are put on bench. This is also called as benching in some companies. You are actually expected to meet unrealistic deadlines, and generally in the span of 3 months you are pushed out of the company. And this practice is very common in companies like Meta, Amazon, where there is a PIP quota of 10 to 20% or a team level. So this is also used as a structured way to lay off employees without calling it a layoff, because these companies face a lot of backlash when a layoff happens, and that affects their brand image as well. So what they do is they lay off employees, and in the name of PIP stack ranking, in that way they are able to save on their severance. And many ex-Amazonians, they openly talk about it on Blind, Reddit, and LinkedIn as well. So you can go to these sites and you can read about their experience. So many people think that if you get into a FANG company, you will become a millionaire with the RSUs. And this has some truth to it, but here's the full story. Yes, if you would have joined Google or Nvidia back in 2018 to 2020, your RSUs would have multiplied. And some people genuinely become crorepati's, but that was like a specific market window. Now, stock based compensations is front loaded, vested over 4 years, and refreshers depend upon performance ratings, which are increasingly getting compressed. Companies like Meta, Atlassian are promoting a culture where if you are not moved to the next level in a particular time frame, then you will be managed out of the company. There's also a problem of golden handcuffs, where engineers with 30 to 40% of their compensation are tied to unvested RSUs, and they literally cannot leave the company even if they are miserable, and they are stuck. And because they are stuck, the mid-level engineers below them have no room to grow, and it's like a bottleneck kind of a situation where You are not getting promoted, so your juniors are not getting promoted, and everyone's growth is actually hampered. Myth number 4 is FANG means that you are working on cutting edge innovation. And this is something that surprises most people, that FANG engineers don't actually spend a lot of time on cutting edge innovation. A large number of their days are spent on internal tooling, fixing some bugs on some legacy code base, A/B testing, and writing migrations that no one would remember. So, cutting edge work may exist, but it's concentrated in maybe like 20% of the roles. Most people are still execution machines for someone else's roadmap. If innovation is your goal, then a startup might be a right path for you, and you should like probably try to build your own thing. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, let's talk about the elephant that is sitting on your desk. So in 2025, AI coding tools were not just auto completing anymore. Tools like Surfer, Windsurf, Devin, GitHub Copilot Workspace, they were completing entire features. In 2026, we have autonomous coding agents that can take a spec, break it down into tasks like a human being, write the code, run tests, fix the failing ones, and raise a PR as well. So here's the math that is scaring most of the people actually. So before the AI era, it used to take probably 10 engineers to ship a feature in 2 weeks. But with AI agents in 2026, now it is probably taking 4 engineers to ship the same features in 2 weeks, or probably 10 engineers to ship 3x of the features in 2 weeks. So companies are choosing the first option, and that is the reason why hiring has frozen. Here's what no one is telling you: AI doesn't replace engineering judgment, it replaces execution. The engineer who can architect a system at scale, design a weird race condition that can prevent an AI from sharing wrong answers, deciding what to build and why, debug a weird race condition that an AI keeps getting wrong, talk to stakeholders, and translate business problems into tech decisions. That engineer is more valuable than ever. The bar for an entry level execution has collapsed actually. The bar for high quality judgment has gone way up. So, if you are spending 80% of your time learning to write for loops and implementing binary search, then you are preparing for a role that AI has already taken. So, shift your energy. What you should be actually investing in is system design, high level and low level design, AI tool fluency. You should be very fluent with Cursor, Claude, Gemini, Copilot, inside out. You should know cloud and DevOps like AWS, GCP, Kubernetes, CI/CD. You should have product thinking. You should understand why something is being built and not just how. And you need to have really good communication skills. You need to be fluent in English, you need to understand how to manage your stakeholders, and you need to be writing specs, documentation, and whatnot. So, these are the skills that are going to take over in 2026. So, I would highly recommend you guys to please focus on them so that you are still relevant as an engineer in 2026. So, what can you do to stay relevant in this AI era as an engineer? Here are a few pointers that can work for you because they have been working for me. And do let me know if you have any other pointers in the comment section. I would love to hear them. So, the very first thing is try to become a T-shaped engineer. This means that have pure, deep knowledge in one domain and have broad enough knowledge about other domains so that you can own a product end to end, because AI is anyways making the execution part simple. It's the overall context that can be present in with human engineers. Secondly, learn to work with AI and not just alongside it. Don't just use Copilot for autocomplete functionality. Learn prompt engineering for code. Learn how to verify AI output, because it will confidently give wrong outputs. Learn how to orchestrate multi step agent workflows. This is now a core engineering skill. Thirdly, global opportunities are real, guys, and they are open for Indian engineers in 2026 who are trying to work remotely for US or European startups. The remote work post COVID has opened doors that did not existed earlier. So if you have strong communication skills and you are very fluent in English, then geography is not going to be a limiting factor anymore. Fourth point is startups are preferable over FAANG for many profiles. So the startup ecosystem in India is exploding like anything. And if you are looking for a high paced growth kind of companies that has serious funding, serious AI based products, then these are the kind of companies that you should be targeting actually, because there you will be owning a feature end to end. You will be directly talking to the customers, and you are going to grow 3x into your role, and with that your judgment would also improve with that velocity. So startups nowadays are also paying on par with FAANG companies. That would help a lot in making a financially stable decision as well. Financial independence is not at all equivalent to just a single source of income. In today's era, please make sure that you have more than one source of income coming in. Build a project early, monetize it, probably create a YouTube channel, do some open source contribution, participate in some hackathons. There are multiple ways to earn money apart from your primary income. Thus, this will help you in making better career decisions and give you a cushion as well in case you also, unfortunately get laid off, or you are in a uncomfortable situation at your job, so that you do not make a career decision out of desperation, but you use your focus and make better judgments for your next career move. So, just to summarize, number one, layoffs are structural and not cyclical. AI is actually genuinely reducing headcount requirements. Secondly, FAANG is not the dream that it was before. The golden era of cracking interviews, get rich, job forever is over. Promotions are slower, ladders are jammed, and you have to be realistic about your timelines. Fourthly, AI is your biggest threat and also your biggest tool. It depends on how you choose to engage with it. Fifth point, startups, global remote work, and building your own products are the real opportunity vectors in 2026. The engineers who thrive in 2026 are not the ones who have memorized thousands of lead code problems. They are the ones who can think, adapt, build real things, use AI in everything. Just make themselves and people around them more and more productive. Work on yourself, build your AI skills, build your financial cushion, and please, please, for God's sake, don't make any company your identity. If this video gave you even a single food for thought, then do let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this video, on this topic, and yeah, I will see you guys soon. Bye, everyone.